Welcome back. It's time to take a look at the latest aviation news, and there's coverage on a brand new order for the Boeing 787 Dreamliner, further discussion on Boeing orders and deliveries, an airline within Australia is finally profitable, and a sad departure from an emerging carrier within Australia too. But where better to begin than with the brand new order, which will be on the lips of many. Boeing has announced a deal with TAG Angola Airlines to renew its fleet with the addition of the 787 Dreamliner. The African-based carrier will add 4 787s as part of its mission to become a solid multi-type airline. The 787 Dreamliners are set to enable TAG to open routes but also expand their international network. Per the Boeing Vice President of Commercial Sales and Marketing for Africa, further went on to say that the Dreamliner's market-leading efficiency and passenger comfort should advance the carrier's fleet modernization plans well. TAG Angola currently operates a fleet of 13 in-service aircraft. This includes a host of aircraft types. Notably for its wide-body operation, the airline flies a fleet of 777-300ERs with 4 units. This stretches to 1 in-service A330-200 as well. For the single-aisle fleet, the airline has a few 737-700s. However, its growth plans are more than evident through a solid commitment to the A220 series, with these units awaiting delivery. Per the latest Boeing commercial market outlook, Africa will see a substantial need for planes as it grows over the next 2 decades, with the current forecast saying 1,025 new planes will be required, with the African air traffic growth slated to increase by 7.4%, which will be the 3rd highest amongst other global regions, and actually above the forecasted global traffic increase average. TAG Angola hopes that they'll lead the line within Africa thanks to these 787 Dreamliners to power their future fleet. They were founded in 1938 in the capital and have been an essential part of air travel and connectivity in the region since their launch. Their now robust network consists of both international and domestic destinations, and the 787s should present a pretty exciting opportunity for the airline. Over to Virgin Australia, and guess what? Well, they're officially profitable following their major transformation plan that is continuing. Virgin Australia says for the first time in 11 years it is proud to announce this following a statutory NPAT report at AUD 129 million. The carrier further went on to say it doubled revenue across the group compared to 1 year prior, hitting $5 billion almost. Revenues increased 124%. Virgin Australia says all this can be attributed thanks to the substantial response to the global pandemic and the increase in flying from this. 1,800 frontline staff were hired for Virgin Australia's rebuild and growth efforts. It results in a total team headcount over 7,000, and the plan is to add a further 1,500 staff in this financial year. Notable service resumptions included Tokyo, Queenstown, Samoa, and Vanuatu as part of its commitment to returning to markets that it had been missing from. Virgin Australia's fleet does look drastically different from the 2010s. The most notable removal is that of all its wide-body operations, which previously included A330s and 777s. These aircraft, and especially the 777, could be seen as far as Abu Dhabi and Los Angeles. Now, the new look and also profitable Virgin Australia flies 72 aircraft, but not a single wide-body. Notably, most of these are from the 737 family, with actually their first MAX only touching down recently. Virgin Australia says 7 further 737-8s will be delivered during financial year 24. The plan is from financial year 25 onwards that 25 737-10s, that is the largest variant in the MAX series, will be delivered. However, given this variant remains uncertified and the time frame for its approval unclear, you could imagine that this may very well be subject to change. As for the existing fleet of 737s, while Virgin says they'll undergo a cabin refurbishment that'll cost an estimated AUD 110 million. Over to Boeing once more. They've announced their 3rd quarter deliveries and orders for 2023, presenting a pretty intriguing picture for the American plane maker. Boeing delivered 105 commercial aircraft during the third quarter. It brings the yearly total to 371. In the third quarter, it saw 70 737 aircraft delivered to customers, 8 767 families, notably being the freighter series, 8 777s, and 19 787 Dreamliners. In 2023, the airline's highest delivered aircraft is no shock here, the 737 series, with 286, followed by 50 787s, and the 767 and 777 family are level on 17 units. Interestingly though, per reports and analysis, deliveries for the MAX program have dropped significantly in the most recent month, being one of its worst performing months in a couple of years. Despite deliveries falling as supply chains continue to struggle and issues were identified on the MAX, orders were firm. Boeing said it booked 224 orders with 10 cancellations for the third quarter. Notably, the 787 series enjoyed a pretty busy quarter, with United committing to 50 units and Air Canada to 18 additional ones. These big North American companies have played a massive part in the 787's success in the region. Boeing, as you may recall, enjoyed a pretty strong period in the 2010s. However, the 737 MAX crisis really impacted not just that program, but the manufacturer. Following this, Airbus has enjoyed a relatively clear path to success and has outperformed Boeing year after year, something Boeing wants to change. Largely, this has just been thanks to them having fewer quality assurance difficulties that are identified on a regular basis. These quality assurance difficulties I speak of are ones that have impacted Boeing's two best-selling planes, the 737 and the 787. When you factor those issues in, well, they're hardly going to perform at an adequate level for a sustained period. Airbus has, in 2023, already delivered 488 planes. While it will struggle to reach this target of 720, it's up on the 371 at Boeing already by over 100 units. Over at Bonza, that carrier will be saying goodbye to its chief commercial officer, Carly Povey, hopefully I pronounced that correctly, who did announce her departure. She joined the airline in the early stages, really attempting to bring the vision of Bonza to life. Many would say she's done so successfully. Carly was pivotal to the emergence of Australia's newest low-cost carrier, visible at key launches and facilitating future growth plans. The team at Bonza, alongside Carly, believed it was essential to really bring a fresh approach to air travel when they launched this carrier. Bonza says it was the first one to launch with only an app. Additionally, its gender-neutral uniforms and Aussie-only menu worked alongside many other breakthroughs to make Bonza the airline it is today. Carly will depart Bonza on the 7th of December 2023, and between now and then, the airline is searching for a new COO to steer the ship in a positive direction. Her departure does come 2 years to the week that they announced their initial route map, really focusing on connecting travelers from point A to point B and skipping the C, looking at focusing on those unserved and underserved markets. That's going to conclude today's aviation news recap. As always, if you have absolutely any thoughts, you know the exact place to leave them. And as I'll always say, I do greatly appreciate your support. Stay tuned at the same place and the same time tomorrow for your latest industry recap.